Canada. It's where globalism goes to die. I think Mark Carney has shot his shot, and I'm hoping that Carney's trajectory doesn't become more malevolent and vindictive than it already is. Donald Trump obviously has put Mark Carney and Canada and the globalists on notice. The usual four, the big four globalists, Albanese, Carney, Starmer, and Macron. They're all on notice. They're all little, like I said many times before, all little beta feminized males that that tried to collaborate and tried to rely on larger military powers like China to get involved militarily with Trump, and I don't think that's going to succeed. As more information comes out of Davos, Switzerland, the WEF. Oh, I better get off the road here. As more information is being analyzed and dissected coming out of Davos, the World Economic Forum meeting summit, the more damning it is looking for Mark Carney and his cronies. Now, if you're on the left and you live in Canada, or you're on the left and live in any one of the G7 countries and other woke countries, you're not going to like the direction that Trump is taking the world, because you are holding on to your last bastion of hope for dominance over people like me, or people that are perceived to want harm to come to you, which is not the case. Some people maybe, but a large majority of them, of people on the right, and have common sense, a common sense thought process. They don't want anything to happen to people on the left. It's been abundantly clear over the past couple decades, but more specifically the last decade, that the left will go to any lows to get their ideological stance across, and that includes violence. You know, the people like Mark Carney and Justin Trudeau, they've obviously built up an inter-race hatred. They want people at my level. They want us at each other's throats. They want whites with blacks against blacks, Hispanics. They have built up such a layer of fear. It's too cold out here today for you, man. How you doing? I'm good. Yeah, you got a warm jacket on? Nice little lady. I've seen her before, a little black lady. She didn't look too afraid of me, actually. That little black lady, she didn't look too afraid of me. Well, she's supposed to be afraid of me based on what Carney and Trudeau and all the liberals and all the Democrats say. That lady should have feared for her life. Huh? I don't know. Gave her a nice little friendly pat on the back and sent her on her way. So, like I said, globalism is on its last legs. Oh, fuck. And as long as Trump is the president of the United States, and as long as Trump wins the midterms, the course is going to continue, but it's going to be sped up. Now, I'm going to read something that one of my viewers commented on a couple videos ago, and I meant to get to it a little earlier, but once I get up here, I'm going to read it. I'm going up a little bit to check on my local guard dog. It's minus 13 currently Celsius, and it's going down to minus 27, or no, minus 24 tonight, I believe. So I don't want to check on him later because he'll be tucked into his little doghouse, and I don't want to get him out and lose that heat. Anyone that has ever done any winter camping, you don't want to leave your warm shelter. So I'll take care of him. I got a bag full of treats if you want to see that. It's coming up in a little bit. You read the comments on these left-wing social media sites, And like I've touched on before, and people that are into this sort of content, they know the vitriol that is spewed and the nonsense that is spewed from people on the left. It knows no bounds. It's very windy out here today too. It's an inhospitable day. The sun's out, which is good. So you have Mark Carney obviously making it look like he's siding with China to tell the US that he is no longer, or Canada is no longer, or the globalists. It's not so much Canada. He's just using Canada as a satellite office to roll out his globalist weirdo agenda, very evil agenda. And Trump and the Trump administration, they know this, and they are fighting it very aggressively. Liberalism, globalism is a very aggressive form of cancer, and Donald Trump and his administration are aggressively treating that cancer, because we have to put an end to this lunacy. We can't have people on the left saying that people like me are Nazis, fascists, that we want to throw them all into a gulag, that we're going to be discriminate towards the marginalized community. That nonsense has to stop. And with the rhetoric, and I'm going to go down to the States for a second, with the rhetoric down in the United States, down mostly in Minneapolis right now, because of what happened to Renee Not So Good, you have people screaming at the top of their lungs, saying that they are dragging citizens out of the house, throwing them in unmarked vehicles, and they're never seen again. Now, I will reiterate, if you are in a country illegally, that's why they say you're in the country illegally. There's a process that you go through, and for generations, multi-generational immigrants from other countries, they've had to go through that process, and it could be a long, arduous process, and it could cost a lot of money. Now, when you allow 20-30 million people into the country, like you just opened up the floodgates, it's going to present a daunting task, and it's not going to be, the optics aren't going to be the best when you try to go and round them all up and ship them out. So they've done it on purpose, obviously. Sleepy Joe Ottopen and Obama, the biggest piece of shit that ever walked the face of the earth, one of them, they orchestrated this. They orchestrated the decline of the United States because they knew this was their last chance, and they went all in. They went all in. So Donald Trump has that mess to deal with, but people down there, they're saying that their rights are being taken away. And one guy, I'll put a picture up of him. He's a chubby guy with a beard, another white knight idiot. He's standing there with an AR-15 style rifle, and he's telling the reporters that he is fearful of his rights being taken away. Now, I can tell you, in Canada, if I left my house with a BB gun strapped with a sling, strapped over my torso with a BB gun, I'd be surrounded by police within, I'd say, about 2 minutes, and they'd have their guns trained on me. I've said in one of my videos before, I've had the cops train their guns on me. It's not a pleasant experience. I took it in stride, and I didn't have a gun on me. So in Canada, Mark Carney and the libtards, they want the police, they want the military, and they are alluding to a citizen force going door to door to take away legally acquired firearms that the Liberal government has deemed no longer legal. Not through any sort of illegal activity on the legal gun owners' side, just because they don't like guns all of a sudden, or they haven't liked guns for a long time. But they're trying to drum up support from the military and police, which they are thankfully being resisted against. Recently, the Toronto police said they don't want any part of helping go knock on doors and take people's hunting rifles out. So if you think in the United States that you have a tyrannical government in Donald Trump and his administration, no, you should come up to this hellhole. And the only reason that you can still walk around with an AR-15 in Minneapolis, open carry, is because you got a president like Donald Trump. If you had a prime minister like our little installed gink, Mark Carney, no, you'd be shot. The cops would be ordered to shoot you on sight. So think about that, my American friends. And I'm not begrudging any of my American friends. I have my viewership is actually increasing with American viewers, pretty good, and women. I got I think it's 22% of my viewer base is women, so that's kind of cool. I thought it was more like the rock band Rush, where, you know, I have maybe one woman on my channel, but it appears that the ladies on my channel have a little common sense. Most of them. Well, the ones that subscribe to my channel do anyways. So this is where my watchdog is, and let's just see if he's around. Oh, he's right there. There's old Shockies. He wants his treats. He wants his treats. What you doing, Bubba? Oh, there he is. He wants his treats. Okay, so I'm just going to take my put my camera away for a second here. And these are Costco dehydrated beef treats. He likes them when they're fresh. I don't personally own a dog anymore, but this dog is well fed, because I know someone, like I said in my videos before, that feeds them. And I don't want to come back later, because it's going to be, like I said, it's going to be below -20. So I thought I'd just give him, I know he's had breakfast, because you can see the footprints by the snow. So he's been fed this morning, I know that. And I know he gets a full meal, two a day. The person that feeds him, I've been feeding him for years, gives him 2 meals a day in the winter and 1 big one in the summer. That's all I got, Bubba. That's all I got, big boys. Hey, you good boy? Come here. Oh, you good boys. You good boys. You good boys. Not too many people can touch this dog. I'm glad I befriended him. I gotta go, Shaka. Okay, to end the video, I just want to read this from one of my regular viewers on my channel, and I think he nailed it when he responded to a video a couple of videos back. Okay, so he starts off, I'll put it up on the screen. It's a big game of 3D chess. Carney and Trump are both playing it. It's clear now what's happening to us. Carney is leveraging Canada between China and the U.S., secretly hoping, expecting the U.S. will be forced to take action against Chinese involvement and encroachment into Canada. He will be forced, in effect, to annex Canada for national security reasons, not militarily. There is no need for that. He will annex Canada economically, and that's what he's been doing, right? And integrate us with the U.S., and who stands to benefit massively because of this. Yep, Mark Carney, whose assets are all in the U.S. and Brookfield's investments will hugely benefit from integrated North American economy. Just bear with me here, it's cold. How you doing, man? Hence why Trump backed Carney in the election. It had to be a Liberal PM who would be willing to sell out Canada for their own gain. It could never be a guy like Polyev. It all makes sense. Now, my hand just froze off because it's a little bit too cold to be doing that sort of video out here today. Let me just put this away and get my glove back on before my hand falls off. Wow. Yeah, that's brutally cold. So, in a nutshell, like I said in many of my videos, this person, my viewer, and I are on the same page. Mark Carney was installed by the globalist WEF, but his first and his priority is to ensure that his investments and his handlers' investments are secured in the United States. Now, a lot of people that do podcasts like Moose on the Loose, Baked on Things, and Canadian Shield, they've all alluded to what I'm alluding to. Is Trump involved at a high level with Carney? And I think that he is. I think that we might, or the United States might not fully have complete access to Canada and change Canada's name to the United States. I don't think that'll happen, but I think it's going to be similar to a Greenland deal, which has been done with regards to tapping into our energy. The U.S. will do that in our oil fields and liquid natural gas, and he'll be putting military bases at the very least in the Arctic. And what other further involvement that Trump will have, in controlling Canada is yet to be determined. But at the very least, that's what I think is going to happen. I think he's going to put military bases in the Arctic, and I think he is going to make a deal with Alberta somehow to tap into their energy directly and have more control of it from an American-based political stance. But anyhow, went out, fed the dog, froze my hand off, and that dog has been there for years, and he's been through many sub 20 nights. Well, not many. The last 3 years we probably had 4 or 5 sub 20 degrees Celsius nights in Toronto. But yeah, it's cold right now, and you know, it's going to go down another 10-12 degrees below what it is now or more. So I know having done winter camping that it's in that temperature, a cold tent, not a hot tent, it is it's life or death. But he's got a good coat on him, and he'll have a full belly around 3 o'clock will be his next feeding. I know the person that feeds him, so he'll be okay. Got any questions, comments, or concerns? Put it in the comment section. Thanks for watching. Bye.